Hey everyone, welcome back to the Extraordinary Self podcast. I am your host, Maria, and today we're diving into a topic that I believe can unlock an incredible amount of personal power if we're willing to look closely and honestly. We're talking about energy leaks, not the kind that shows up on your electric bill, but the invisible ways we surrender our mental, emotional, and even spiritual energy every single day, oftentimes without realizing it. And this isn't meant to be a complete list. There are probably so many other examples of this, but I'm going to share some from personal experience, some that I've witnessed in my life, and some that I think are just really sneaky and we've come to accept as normal. In fact, this is just a starting point, but if you find yourself feeling drained, stuck, or like you're always running on fumes, these might be some hidden places your energy is leaking out. And once we become aware of where it's going, we can start to call it back. We can start to reinvest in our peace, purpose, and our power. Let's dive in. Energy leak number one is validation seeking. We've all done it. Looked to a partner, a parent, a boss, or even social media follower to validate who we are and how we're doing. We test the waters with people, with situations and scenarios. The desire to be seen and known, loved is deeply human. But when we constantly need external validation, we're outsourcing our worth. This is a leak of personal sovereignty. From my book, An Ordinary Girl's Journey to Self-Love, one of the key shifts is moving from seeking validation to embodying divine love. This means learning to validate yourself first, to become the person who says, "You're doing great, I'm proud of you, and you are enough," before anyone else does. So ask yourself, what can I give myself today that I'm waiting for someone else to give me? Energy leak number two, ruminating on someone else's behavior. See it all the time. We all get upset when people act in ways we wouldn't. But when we stay upset, rehashing the conversation, replaying what was said, wondering why they did what they did, we're handing over our energy. Other people's behavior doesn't have to define our emotional landscape. Try this mindset shift. That's their movie. I'm just an extra in that scene. Let them live it. You've got your own film to direct. Okay, energy leak number three, having an opinion about every little thing. Now, I grew up as a self-proclaimed opinionated person. I love to discuss topics. I love to observe the world and to discuss theories and situations and people and human behavior and why people do what they do. It's just like, I love life. I love human development and the world. So I have to say this was probably something that I was guilty of, just having too much opinions about everything that came my way, because I felt like if I had an opinion, I had a control over or like a reign over this idea or this philosophy or this thing. And I'm like, well, I know myself and I know where I stand. But it was really leaking energy from me, like just to care too much about everything. And this is a sneaky one. We think it's normal to judge, assess, comment on everything from politics to pop culture to what someone wore to the gym. But constant judging is constant output. Try this instead. This has been a game changer for me. Be neutral, or even stretch yourself to like more things than you dislike. Just focus on the beauty of the world. Focus on the positive. Try to find that good thing in that person, in that situation, in that environment. And just the more you look for something, the more you see it. Because what we look for is what we see. Truly, truly. I've experienced that so deeply in my life. When you loosen the grip of needing to categorize and control everything, you'll feel the release mentally, emotionally, even physically. It's spacious. Okay, moving on to energy leak number four, dwelling on the past, especially painful events. Let me share a personal story. Last year, 2024, around this time, our home was broken into. It was ransacked. Our wedding jewelry, custom Tiffany pieces, all gone. I could have spiraled. I had every reason to be upset, anxious, devastated. Instead, I chose something radical. I chose gratitude. I analyzed the situation. I went through it in my head. And once I realized the things that were lost and the things that were preserved, especially the safety of my children, and I realized that my girls could have been home at that time and they were supposed to, at least one of my daughters was supposed to be home when they broke into the home. I realized I have everything I need. So I literally said, I'm not going to let this take me down. I'm not going to dwell on this any longer. What is gone is gone. So I started to thank God. I started to show gratitude for everything that was still in my home, that my daughters were safe. And I literally repeated this over and over. This is clearing space for something greater. And this is shocking. Somebody around my environment at that time said, why are you so chill? Why aren't you like, I would be so upset. I would be this and that. I had my moment of being upset. I had my moment of being worried. But I had to also calm my daughters and make sure that they felt safe, that they felt everything was okay and that was going to be okay, and that anything that we lost was ultimately insignificant because we had each other and we had still our home to come home to. So, everything else was inconsequential. I also did something a little extreme, which some people might think it was extreme, but I offered a prayer for the people who took from us. Because what kind of life must you be living if that's your way of surviving? I actually felt extremely sad for a human being that had to go into my home to survive or to live, to think that that is the only way of existing on this earth is stealing and taking from another. So that made me sad for that human. And I prayed that they wouldn't repeat it. I prayed that maybe they would have a shift in an idea in their mind that they don't have to live like that. And when they looked at my jewelry or sold it or, pawned it for whatever, for money, for whatever they needed, that they would realize this is a really sad existence. And so that was my prayer to them, and that they wouldn't hurt anyone else in their future. What I realize is this: making something you can't change bigger than your peace is an energy leak. It's emotional debt, and the only way out is to alchemize your past. Turn the pain into purpose. Honestly, this deserves a whole episode on its own. When I was writing this energy leak, I said I need to spend time discussing how we can alchemize, rewrite our own stories of what happened to us, especially when something out of our control and we feel like victims, something hurtful in our past. How can we alchemize that for our good? And so definitely we'll be dedicating an episode to that in some future time. Okay, energy leak number 5, gossiping and complaining. We bond through shared negativity, don't we? But at what cost? Gossip and complaining feel good for a moment, but they do not build. They don't create, they consume. And when you spend your energy dissecting other people's choices or dwelling on your own dissatisfaction, you're not feeding the life you want. You're just reacting to the one you don't. Let your energy go towards solutions, not problems. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Energy leak number 6, waiting to be happy when. This is the classic trap. I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds, make 6 figures, find my person. But deferring happiness is denying yourself joy in the present. And here's the thing: joy now creates momentum for the things you want later. Life doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to presence. When you are here and when you live a life as if you already have that thing, or if you even shift your perspective, if you never get that thing, would you ever be happy? Like right now, could you possibly feel joy and happiness with your situation right now if absolutely nothing changes? That's a powerful exercise there. Okay, energy leak number 7, victim mode. I worked for an organization years ago when I first moved to California. They were the authors of the Oz Principle, and it was a fascinating time. I loved the book. It's still out there. If you guys are interested, it's called the Oz Principle. It's based on accountability, and the company focused on changing company cultures. And one of these energy leaks in businesses and companies is victim mode, playing the blame game and behaving what they call below the line. This one's a tough one to talk about because life does throw us curveballs. But victim mode says, I have no choice, no power, and no responsibility. And that might feel safe, but it is deeply disempowering. You might not have chosen your wounds, but you do choose how you wear them. You can use them as armor or as a badge of strength. Your power returns when you say, this happened, and now I get to choose how I grow from it. And again, this could be connected to what I was talking about early, alchemizing your past and rewriting stories to make it work for you. You can literally rewrite your past or the meaning that it has to your life today. You can't change what exactly happened in the details of things, but you can change on what it means to you today by rewriting the stories of your past. So that was my last energy leak, but I'm not going to leave you in this position. Here are a few simple yet profound ways to begin calling your energy back, because I want to end on a good note and helping you feel empowered, right? These energy leaks exist and you probably can name other ones, but here are a few simple yet profound ways to get that energy back. First one, gratitude. We hear all the time. It's not overrated. It's underrated, actually, how powerful this could be. It grounds and it empowers. It reminds you of what's here and working. Next one, this is a big one. Create something, whether it's a post, a project, or a prayer. Energy used for creation doesn't just go out. It's like a boomerang. It comes back to us. This is what I call using your creation energy to refill your cup. So if you like to paint, just paint. Just paint something. Just do something for the sheer joy of it, or dedicate yourself to improving an area in your life that you know you could at your job, or something, a responsibility that you have, a system or a process that can be more efficient or something. Create something. Use your talents and your ability in the places where you occupy right now to use that creative energy. It will give you back energy to do that. The last one is be present. Most anxiety comes from future tripping. Stay grounded in what's real and now, even if the moment isn't perfect. It's yours. Own it. Presence brings peace. Your energy is sacred. It's not just how you get through the day, it's how you shape your life. The more you become aware of these silent little leaks, the more power you reclaim to create, love, lead, and live fully. You don't need to plug every leak overnight. These things are not always easy to shift or change, but awareness is the first step. And every shift you make sends a signal to your subconscious that you're back in charge. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend or let me know what energy leak you're working on reclaiming this week. And if you haven't read my book, An Ordinary Girl's Journey to Self-Love, there's so much more in there about reclaiming your worth, rewriting your story, and stepping into your extraordinary self. Until next time, protect your energy. You are too powerful to pour it down the drain. Keep being you.